Welcome back, WNST, Justin Baltimore, and WNST.net. We are headed to Hollywood this week, which brings back an old friend of mine who has worked in the digital sports space and the sports media space for a long, long time at Yahoo, now at Fox, of Pikesville, and now out in Los Angeles, California, where he'll be gathering a bunch of my pals for my first visit to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. David Katz, so good to have you back aboard, and I know we've watched games all over the continent, even over in Europe, and there's talk of this 17-game schedule gathering us in other places. But, 100 years it's taken me to get to the L.A. Memorial Coliseum. Founded in 1921 and opened in 1923, and it's taken me until 2019 to get there. What's going on, man? I know it's happy times for you. You got Lamar Fever, bro.
I do have Lamar Fever. I woke up really hot yesterday, and I wasn't sure if it was Lamar Fever or the 88 degrees that we had in Manhattan Beach, California. But we're warming it up for you.
Nice.
Can't wait to have you in.
My wife pointed that out on Sunday night. She's like 78 degrees at game time. I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm going to Koreatown. I'm going to load me up on some food. I'm going to take it and tailgate it and boot it right out there at the home of the former Los Angeles Sports Arena, where I saw Springsteen shut that thing down a few years ago. And lo and behold, here we are. Dude, temperature out there, right? Like, you're in L.A. most of the time. You do a lot of travel. I see you in Baltimore. I see you at Ravens games on the road. It's a big time of the year for you. The Los Angeles football thing, even after a Super Bowl last year, I noticed a friend of mine down in Redondo Beach was looking for tickets. I'm like, they're $30 online. Like, there's a lot of tickets, a lot of space. Give me a little primer for the LA Sports Memorial Coliseum for a Raven fan coming out there, above and beyond the fact that we have the best player on the planet right now.
I think you're going to like being in LA, and I think you're going to enjoy the way the sun's going to set over the stadium, and you're going to see the historical significance of the arena from around it, and you'll take you back probably to 1984 in the Olympics. But the actual facility itself is a dump.
Yeah.
It's a complete dump. The game day experience of ingress and egress is terrible, and LA sports fans cannot wait for the new arena to open in Inglewood in a couple of years.
Inglewood, always up to no good. So I'm going to see that flying in, right? I mean, I haven't flown to LA in a year, since Christmas last year. It looked like a hole in the ground. I've been to Vegas in over a year now, since the Caps won the Stanley Cup, and I had a little drive-by there last summer. So these stadia, as they come up, you can kind of see it in real time now. You can go get a webcam, see where it is and whatnot. But the one in L.A. is the one to beat all stadia, right? Like, just for sheer ground space and largeness and openness and what they want to turn it into, like a real entertainment district. I would think that is something to behold every time you fly in and out of LAX, right?
You see it coming together. It's going to be gorgeous. But the one thing that I think it's lacking is it's not inside the fabric of the downtown metropolis. LA is a sprawling city, and I really wish they had gone with the original Farmers Field location, which would have been right next to Staples Center, right next to LA Live, and you would have had this feel of being able to walk around a downtown area and walk to the game. And here it's definitely going to be an Uber in, drive in. They're trying to go for that tailgating experience. I don't know how many LA fans are that excited about tailgating, to be honest with you. You can go to the beach. There are a lot of other things to do. You're not just going to sit around and gather with your friends and spend 3-4 hours watching the early games before you tailgate. But from an NFL perspective, what's going to look amazing on TV, the stadium is going to be incredible. And when you think about the Olympics coming in 2028, and I'm sure some very important World Cup games that'll be happening there as well, it's definitely going to be on the national stage, and it will be an incredible facility.
He is David Katz. Well, tell me what you're doing. I don't even know how to explain. You're running something at Fox, right? Literally?
Yes. Hold on one sec here. I apologize.
He's in an airport. Did they delay you again?
They've delayed me again.
Is it Rome or Paris this time, Katz? Which is it?
Oh,
or Milan?
It's the dregs of society. I'm in Logan Airport in Boston, Massachusetts, and to get to my gate, I had to walk past the Rob Gronkowski jersey and the Do Your Job poster up on the
Well,
wall
you know,
here.
when you win, you get to do things like that. You know, if we put together 6-7 championships here with Lamar, right? Like, all right, so where are you with Lamar Fever and all of this? Because you tend to catch the purple fever, a little more quickly than some of us. Some of us don't need the cowbell. You know what I mean?
You know, Lamar has been such an absolute treat to see, both on television and in person. Even though I live in Los Angeles, I've been fortunate enough to go to 4 games already. I was in Miami for the opening show.
I saw you in
was
Miami.
in Kansas City.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I was in Seattle, and then I slummed it in Cincinnati. And I'm looking forward to seing you in L.A. and then head over to.
Dude, I'm sorry about Cincinnati,
Baltimore
man. You and I
49ers.
should have had indigestion together in Cincinnati before the game. I literally did the craziest thing I've ever done. I don't know if you heard me tell this story in the air, because I know sometimes you go out to the buyatoyota.com audio vault. You listen from time to time, and to our live stream as well. So in Cincinnati, I stayed in Covington, and I forgot my phone cord, the jack for my phone. I'm holding it up. So this white wire I forgot, and so I went sort of naked for 36 hours with no battery for, no charger. And it was Sunday morning, and I guess I could have gone somewhere and gotten a charger, but I'm like, I have to make it to tomorrow. Some guy like Katz will have a charger. Dude in the Cincinnati stadium gave me a charger. I got a full charge when I left. I didn't even get below 40% on the whole trip. But it is a little like if the Russians take down the grid that weekend, I don't want to be stuck in Cincinnati with no charger, right? So I did not have a phone. I didn't put my phone on. And that morning, I decided to walk across the bridge because people told me it would be a good idea. Dude, I don't have, I have a height thing, but I'm not, maniacal. I'm not, I wouldn't walk over the bridge. But I had 40 pounds of 2 computers on my back, and I did have my cords for my Apple, which, each weigh 5 pounds of brick, right? So I'm carrying that across this bridge that's about 36 inches high, where you feel like if the wind blew, you would fall into the Ohio River. And I navigated this bridge, and I'm going to tell you, I haven't done anything heroic, anything courageous lately that is going to be more than climbing that bridge at 10:15 in the morning. And I got to the other side, and that's when I turned my phone on to kind of check in with the world at 11 o'clock, and I had missed you. But I'm telling you, had you and I gotten together, I would have taken an Uber. We would have met someplace civil. We would have had nice conversation. I would have probably had some coffee and better eggs than I had at the Waffle House. So I feel, but
Next time.
Me not connecting with you led me to a death-defying experience of walking over a bridge I had no business going over. I mean, and I told my wife, whenever she wants to scare the bejesus out of herself, I'm going to take her to Covington, Kentucky, and make her walk that bridge by herself. Okay?
Look, yeah. Well, next time, I always have a charge for you.
Do you like that sort of thing in Cincinnati? I mean, do you go to Cincinnati often? Would you want to climb the bridge in Cincinnati next time just to say you did it like Les Nessman or something?
Well, I'll tell you, you asked me, what I'm currently doing, and I do work for Fox Sports now. Ironically, the engineering team that supports all the Fox Sports digital group is based in Cincinnati, Ohio. About 10 years ago, Fox bought a company in Cincinnati. And I told the guys, it's an amazing team, great people. And I told them, look, guys, I'm going to come visit you one day a year. But I can't tell you what that day is till the NFL schedule comes out. So I am a man of my word.
Every fall, I will be there with my team.
Every fall,
yes,
I will be there.
Well, if the ones of them you don't like, see if they want to walk across the Covington Bridge. And the only thing that was missing was wind. And I thought if one of the trucks just honked or Katz, it was like a scene at a Saturday Night Fever. When they were down on the bridge there, the Brooklyn Verrazano. It was a little crazy for me. So the Cincinnati thing, but the football team, however, has been. It's been a joyous time to be a Raven fan, right? To talk to Peter King this week and hear people say they're the best team in the NFL. They're the team to beat. We're going to have a bye. We're going to play games at home in January. That's a hell of a purple ramp up for me. I'm just trying to get to L.A. and get to the Coliseum and not have a 6-hour flight home on Tuesday with my feelings hurt for Thanksgiving, right?
I got to tell you, I walk around the Fox Sports offices. You never would have seen Ravens flashing on the television screen. They really, even in our best years, with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, we were never the talk of the country. We were never the lead on Sports Center. We were always the team that crept up on people that they wanted to kind of deny that we were that good because defense wasn't that exciting to talk about. And now we have arguably, and I would think most people agree now, the most exciting talent in football, the most exciting talent that people have seen in football in many, many years, a guy who's changing the entire sport. And I can't walk through my offices without seeing Ravens leading off every single show on FS1. It's a great time to be a Ravens fan and to be a Ravens fan at Fox Sports, I can tell you that.
Every channel, everywhere, every reporter, every website, every share, someone saying something about Lamar Jackson. And I turned to some folks the other day. I said, I haven't compared anybody to Michael Jordan, let alone somebody in a Baltimore jersey. And the sound of the MVP. Can you imagine that sound at the L.A. Memorial Coliseum on Monday night if he comes out there and lights the thing up? They already lit it up in Hollywood, Florida. Now it's time to light it up in Hollywood, California.
It would not surprise me if the majority of fans in that stadium are Ravens fans. I think it's going to be a little bit of a different experience than what we saw last year at the Chargers game in Carson, California, but not that much different. The Ravens fans travel well. They're going to come out for this game. They represent in Southern California.
West Wing, shout them out. You got to shout out the West Wing. Come on now.
Shout out to the West Wing. They're doing their Purple Pep Rally on Saturday night with Jacoby Jones. That's going to be fun. Hope to see you there at the Parlor. But I think Baltimore is excited for this. The fans, and even more than just Ravens fans, there are a lot of football fans that are going to pay the $30 to get in the stadium to come out to see Lamar Jackson play.
Bottom line is, are you going to get me some tickets for Madonna this week while I'm in, or is that not going to happen?
You know, you and I need to sync up on this. If you want to go see some cool DJs or something, we can talk. But you're talking Madonna, and I think it was...
We're not going to go to Madonna at the Wiltern? No. I mean, I thought you were the guy to get tickets for stuff like this, man. I figured you were my in out there, you know?
All right, let me work on it. I've got a week. Let me work on it. See what we can do.
All right, we'll catch up. Hey, it is fun to be talking about games in January, in November, right? Like, you and I have been at this 25 years. You've been in the industry. I've been in the industry. You travel all over the place. Rare are these times when... you're the one on the right side. I mean, we have the Orioles to deal with all summer, right? So you see what the other side of that looks like. This is a lot more fun.
The pain of being a Ravens fan, and look, as a football fan, we really have nothing to complain about. We're pretty blessed as an organization to have 2 Super Bowl rings and to have a team that consistently is competing for playoffs. But you know what it's like to be a Ravens fan. It's always really hard to score. Really hard to move the ball, always coming down to the last game of the season, always needing a 4th down stand, whether it's a Super Bowl or, a final drive against the Browns last year to make the playoffs. And it's been painful, torturous at times. And now you feel like you have a team that's they're not playing close games. I'm not going to
complain about them winning 34-7 in the fourth quarter, right? Like that it's boring all of a sudden. But it is something to behold because
it's different.
It's like a Wonkavator, I say. There's no ceiling on this thing.
No, look, the style of play, it's an enjoyable way to spend your Sunday afternoons now. What was torturous for a while, and no offense to the previous great legends of Baltimore that we had and people like Joe Flacco that brought us a Super Bowl, but think about what 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 was like. With Joe back there, it felt like a mile. And now you've got Lamar, and if he ever gets into a 3rd and 8, it feels like, man, we could run for this. We could pass for this. We could screen pass. We could RPO. We could go deep like he did earlier this year on some key 3rd and longs.
They're not in 3rd and 8 often. I mean, that's the beauty of this thing. The beauty of this thing is 2nd and 1 and 2nd and 2 and 2nd and 3.
Absolutely. And you got to give the coaching staff, if they're not in the lead for, coach of the year with Harbaugh and coaching staff of the year, I don't know who is, the job that they have done in transforming the philosophy of the team around the talent that they have. DeCosta bringing in some supplemental players here, and a shout out to Ozzie Newsome, who probably through, his legacy will be the 2 greatest first picks in the history of a general manager run and the greatest last first-round pick in history as well.
I think Ozzy's turned it back to just 40 hours a week now. No more 80 hours, just down to 40 hours. David Katz is here for Fox Sports. He's out in Los Angeles via Baltimore, via leading with his Purple Heart. And so I'm looking here. Ace Frehley's playing the Rose on Sunday night. There's a band, and I did look this band up because I thought of you as being probably the guy that would be involved with this. Band called Fast Times, that's sort of an 80s cover band, sort of like my band Ridgemont High was. They're playing the Whiskey A Go-Go after the game. But Madonna's playing the Wiltern.
Have you ever been to the Whiskey A Go-Go?
I have never been. I've been outside, but never inside.
You got to check it out. It's also across the street from the Viper Room. If you haven't,
I've been to
there,
the Viper Room. Yes, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's some great, right on that row there, there's some incredible old musical institutions that, as a historian like yourself, you need to check out. So put that one on your list. If I wasn't on a flight back to Baltimore, I would be on that with you.
All right. Well, Thanksgiving calls, L.A. calls. I'm looking forward to the beach in Manhattan Beach and sitting in traffic, and I hope that it's nice and warm. At least I can pack my sandals. David, warm it up out there in Los Angeles. We're bringing a first-place football team out there. We're bringing the number one team in the power rankings out to the L.A. Memorial Coliseum, man. I'm looking forward to having a little barbecue and a cocktail with you, man.
Well, Nestor, I've been listening to you every day for the last probably 5 years in my car. So it's great to hear all this conversation now turning to all the things we're doing right as opposed to all the things we need to tinker with and fix and get right. So it's been a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you this week. It's going to be fun.
I'll bring my Baltimore positive energy there with you, too. David Katz from Fox Sports joining us here. You can find me out in the buyatoyota.com audio vault where David Katz listens on the West Coast, and you can listen from anywhere in the world on your mobile device. Download the TuneIn Radio app. We do come in crystal clear from anywhere in the world. Nasty at WNST.net still finds me all the cool Baltimore positive stuff we're doing. We're at State Fair this week with Sonia Santalese, as well as Speaker of the House Adrian Jones. We're going to get somewhere this week on Baltimore Positive. Maggie McIntosh out, as well as Wes Moore. And if you missed Mark Weller, if you missed any of the good stuff we've done, you can find it all in the BaltimorePositive.com episode vault, and you can find all of our sports work in the buyatoyota.com audio vault. I am Nestor, headed to L.A., getting ready for Thanksgiving and pumpkin pie and all that good stuff. We are WNST.net, AM 1570 at WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports and Lamar Jackson.